Hi, everyone. My name is Lilit Davtyan. I am the CEO of a company called Phonexa, which is in the lead generation and call tracking industry. From the technology perspective, what we do is we allow clients to have the ability to manage their marketing spend and track their consumer traffic coming in, whether it's through calls or clicks or web leads and forms. But essentially, the idea is to allow a business to be able to properly track their spend and their conversions for their business side. And so, with that said, I am also a Woodbury alum. I graduated in 2012 with a bachelor's in accounting and business. And afterwards, I went to USC. I got my master's in business tax. And afterwards, I got my CPA license. With the idea of doing everything traditionally, right? So you study accounting, you get a license, and you go work for the Big Four because it looks great on your resume. I did that. It wasn't the right move for me, but I do not regret the process at all. And the reason that I'm here today is actually to be talking to you about what does career actually mean and how is that actually related to your education. You could take my steps as an example, but I'm going to go a little bit further than that, because at this point I am looking at things from the business perspective, whereas growing up and before I got into this position, I was looking at this from education perspective. Well, here's the difference in the way that I've defined it, at least in my own life. When you are studying, it is not about you becoming an expert at something, right? Sure, you want to learn it, you want to be well-rounded in almost anything that you get into. You definitely want to be some sort of well-rounded individual because it'll help you have conversations with people, it'll help you meet professionals in all different types of industries. It really doesn't matter what you plan to do. So being well-rounded, well-read is important. That doesn't have to come from school, but if it does, it's even better. And so when your grandparents, your parents, your sister, your brother, your friends are telling you to go to school and get some kind of a degree to do this and this and this, I'm telling you that what you really should be getting out of school is time management, self-discipline, and humility, and the ability to have communication skills and common sense. And by the way, when I'm talking about school and career, I am not talking about those careers that require you to be licensed to do a certain profession. So for example, if you want to be a doctor, I can't tell you to go and study psychology and graduate and learn it in business or in the field of being a doctor. So I'm talking mostly in the field related to marketing and business and anything under the business administration side, and probably other careers too. But I don't want to talk for any career that may not be relevant to myself because I don't have the expertise to talk about it. So from a business side, like I said, what we need to be talking about is career development and what that means. So when I went to school, and all of my years of school, my favorite subject was a psychology class, one particular psychology class. And the reason it was my favorite is because for some reason, I was able to take that class and identify myself as an actual empathetic person. I was able to, and I'm not saying that the class did this to me per se, because at the end of the day, psychology in any school is the same psychology topic, but it just resonated with me, right? So I was able to develop this side of my brain that was allowing me to understand people better, have better communication skills, and to be empathetic and compassionate, all of which are actually skills that you absolutely need when you go to any kind of career. Those things will make you successful. A license will make you successful because it will be a step for you to get into the door. So as an example, I'm a CPA. I don't practice it. I did everything right. I got my CPA. I went to a Big Four accounting firm. 2 years later, I was pretty clear that that wasn't for me. And I took a really big risk and I went from a pretty stable career to a startup. And that startup was a pre-revenue startup, and I am still with that company, which is now a group of companies, and it is global. And while I was employee number 6, we now have about 200 employees. And so it was the right move for me, but I didn't go in there thinking that this better work or else. I went in there thinking that here's an opportunity for me to make a difference when I'm starting into this new startup, and I'm employee number 6, and there's not a lot of skill sets in place except for the business that we're in. So I went in there as vice president of finance and accounting, but with my lack of experience, I was really starting off as a bookkeeper and the accountant that was going to build an accounting department essentially, which I did. But I also decided that accounting wasn't really something I wanted to do for the rest of my career, and so I asked for permission to get involved in more things: the technology side, the business side, the strategy side, all of which really helped me apply what I learned or what I should have learned in school into the business. So my CPA license isn't what helped me be successful in this business. It's the fact that I went to school while I worked. And so I was able to learn how to wake up early, get my energy in, and go to school and then go study and then go to work and then study some more at night. Yes, it's at the sacrifice of getting really good sleep and really good rest, but I identified that I was okay with that. And so what I'm trying to tell you is take the soft skills out of school. Take those things as what is going to build your career in the future. If you can't you could be a PhD student and you can be writing the best articles and the best scholarly studies, and you can't communicate it. What is the point of you going to study such a wonderful skill if you can't communicate it properly to people? Perception is everything. You can make it really, really complicated for somebody and they just won't understand, which means you won't get the type of attention that you need to get. Or you can learn how to communicate with different types of people and make it really simple. So that would be the best skill that you can learn in school. So when your school is bringing in experts to interview you or guest speakers that are in a specific field, you need to pay attention to those people. You need to go meet them, have coffee with them, buy them coffee or buy them dinner, whatever it is, but take advantage of those opportunities. If you have homework to do afterwards, I'm telling you, this is more important. And I'm not telling you not to do your homework, but I am saying that prioritize in a way that you can take advantage of every opportunity to meet new people, communicate with those different types of people. Communicating with a businessman is very different than communicating with an accountant or a marketing expert. They all speak a different type of language, but they all understand business in a certain capacity. And so if you can learn to communicate with them in a way that they will understand, you will be more successful. So going back to career development related to school, the reason I started the topic off with that is you don't have to. At some point, many of us in school decide that we are not studying what we want to do. And sometimes it's too late. You can definitely change your career. You can spend more money. You can get more loans, or you can just continue studying and hone in on these other skills that we talked about: time management, communication, empathy, and organization. That's a simple one to learn. But those skills will help you even if you decide not to do what you study. So if you studied accounting and you want to do marketing, all of those skills will come in handy. So does it make sense to go and take out another loan and spend another 2 years studying marketing when in fact those 2 years that you're going to spend in school will actually be more beneficial if you spend it in an entry-level position in marketing and learn how to apply those skills to yourself? So my advice moving forward is try to take the most skills out of what you are learning, because those skills will help you in business a lot more than the education and theory side of this. You can read books all you want, but I'm telling you, when you get into a business and when you get into your career, you are always going to be learning. You will be taking classes. Your company might even force you to take classes, but if you don't know a skill, you're going to want to know it. If you are going to meet people with expertise that can sit down and be your guide and teach you things that a book can't teach you, because unless everything is perfect in the world, especially in the business world, a lot of the theories are not applicable. They are applicable in a sense where you can use the theory to adjust to your current environment, but you can't look at a scenario in a book and figure out how to deal with a problem that just arose. I would love to have continual discussions with students if they're interested in learning more about how to navigate through their career. But please take my advice in terms of don't stress out if you are not studying exactly what you want to do with your life. And if you can try to take the best soft skills out of what you're learning, definitely learn time management. Here's another important part that I want to definitely bring up before I close. When I hire people for nearly any position in our company, the last thing I look at is their education. The reason I say that is because I want to see what this person has to offer, what they can tell me, and how they can sell themselves to me in a way that is not a complete elevator pitch that they have memorized in their head, but it's also very structured. But it's for them. They have a structured approach to having an interview that says a lot about themselves in a non-robotic way. And so the more confidence you have in yourself and your skill sets, the better you can communicate your identity with people. And that's what businesses look for. Of course, it's really nice to see that they have education, because it tells me that they know how to study, probably procrastinate a little bit, but work under pressure. They know how to do group projects. They know how to work in a team environment. Those are things that I think of when I look at the education that they have. I don't think of somebody that has an MBA as in, oh, this person's going to be a complete expert and is going to do all of these things that I'm looking for. So that's not realistic at all. And so in closing, good luck with whatever you're studying, and find the mentor that works for you, find the career that works for you. And if you don't, give yourself some time and just be patient with yourself. And things should work out. So it was great talking with you guys. So I will hopefully see you soon in person at some point. Have a good one.